Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer. Today we're taking a look at and installing our EcoHitch for 2025 Hyundai Elantra. The EcoHitch we have on our Elantra today is going to be a really cool design. This one really hides away, and if you don't really use your receiver portion a lot, this one's really cool because you can actually unbolt it, remove it, and take it out of the way. And with that, the only thing you're really going to see underneath your vehicle is just these two tabs hanging down, which are for your safety chain loops. Other than that, when you do use it, it's going to be a 2-inch receiver, so it's going to be 2 inches by 2 inches. It's going to have a black powder coat finish on it, so it's going to hold up and be real durable against corrosion and also scratches and things like that you don't want to get all scuffed up and start rust. As far as weights go, this is going to have a tongue weight rating of 450 pounds, and that's going to be pushing down on this portion of the tongue itself. And that is going to be the combination of your bike racks or any bikes that you have on it, or say you have a cargo carrier, that's going to be the weight of your cargo carrier and everything you have on that. You are going to have a gross trailer weight rating of 3,000 pounds, and that's going to be the weight of your trailer and everything that you have on that. Keep in mind, you may want to look at your owner's manual and make sure you don't exceed your maximum number in that. So just go between the lowest number of your hitch and your manual, what it says for your tow rating. This hitch is going to have a 5/8 pinhole opening, and that's going to take any of your standard 5/8 pins. So that's what's going to hold in any of your accessories. What I always recommend also with these is if you do carry a bike rack around or a cargo carrier, what I like to do is have a locking pin. And what that does is that'll lock on any of your accessories, like say when you're out on the bike trail, you're going to be able to lock your bike carrier to your car so nobody can take that off while you're out on the trail. It is going to have your safety chain loops under here. It's going to accept your S-style safety chain loops or your clevis style hooks. As far as measurements go, from the center of the pinhole out to the edge of the bumper, we're looking at right around 3.5 inches for that. And that's going to be the number you're looking for to decide on if any of your accessories that actually fold up will make any contact with the back of your vehicle. And the measurement from the ground to the top of our receiver tube here is going to be 12 inches. And with that measurement, you'll be able to decide if you need any raise in any of the shanks of like your bike carriers or maybe a cargo carrier, just so you know that you have enough clearance. As far as installation goes, this one can be pretty tricky. You are going to have to remove your rear fascia and a lot of your underbody panels, and there's going to be some trimming and also drilling involved. If it's something you don't feel like tackling yourself or you don't have time, you can always take a look at our dealer locator and get something done locally for you. Or if you feel like doing it yourself, stick around, watch our video, and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation, we're going to start with taking out the screws that are right here behind our fender well. We're going to have those on both sides. They're going to be a Phillips head screw, and we have 3 of them right here we're going to need to take out. Now, right behind our little plastic panel on both sides, you're going to have a little 8mm right here. We need to get that out of the way on both sides. Now we have our lower panels under here we're going to need to remove. So we're going to have pop clips all around the edge of this. We're going to go ahead and get them removed. Now underneath here, we're going to have a plastic nut. This one I'm able to go ahead and back off by hand. Let's get that one loosened up. Those are never really tight. And we have a 10mm here. And another one on the other side. Now we'll just pull our panel out of place. Now we have our other panel on this side. We're going to have our plastic nut I just back that off by hand. And now we have more plastic clips. Work our way around. Now we can pull that out of the way. Now we're going to have this plastic canister system. We're going to need to get this out of the way. So we're just going to push in on this clip, and you may need to push in pretty hard and just get a little screwdriver and carefully pop that out of the way, because these go on there pretty tight. Now we have where we have our wire connected. We're just going to get this popped out of the way. Use our clip tool and pop that out. And just get that put out of the way for now. Now all of our lines connected to this we're going to need to remove, because we're going to have to get this entire box out of our way. So there are little push fasteners in. You just push those in and pull your line back carefully, being careful with these lines because they are a plastic hard line. And we'll do that on all of these. Just push them in and pull that back. Now we have 3 12mm attachment hardware here. We're going to remove those. Now, attached to our plastic housing, we have these little metal tabs. Just want to pop that back carefully. And if you can get a little pick underneath of it to pop them back, that'll work good for you. Basically, they just kind of hold them in place. And we'll have 2 of those to do. Now we can just pull that out of the way and set it aside. Now on the bottom of our fascia, we're going to have more pop clips. 1 on this side and 2 on this side, which will be your passenger side. Now underneath the back of our bumper fascia, we're going to have a plastic bracket here and 1 on the other side. Those are also going to have our plastic clips. So we're just going to get those popped out and out of the way on both of those. Now we're going to need to get our exhaust out of our way. So what we're going to do is take a cam buckle strap and just find a good location to put our hooks. Now with that, pull our strap tight. Now we'll take a little soapy water. We just have dish soap and water and spray it on our rubber isolators. We'll do that. Give a little wiggle around. That's going to work in that soapy water. It's going to help it come off a little bit easier for us. Now we'll get our other ones back here in the back. You want to get them front and back on both sides. And now you just want to wiggle the exhaust a little bit. That's going to work that soapy water in there and make it easier for us to pop them out. Now, if you have a pry bar or something like that, maybe a large screwdriver or even isolator pliers, you could go ahead and get this removed. These can be a little tricky on the inner ones up here. Once you get them started, sometimes you can pull them off by hand. Just work them back and forth. Sometimes lifting up on your exhaust helps as well. Just let that isolator hang there. The ones in the back are usually a little easier. I can just pop those off by hand on both sides. Now with that, we're just going to drop our exhaust a little bit for now. And just let our cam buckle strap support that. Now on the back section of our cross member in the very back of our car, we're going to have 4 12mm bolts that go into the back of our bumper brace. We just want to get those removed. Now in the back of our hatch area, we have a panel here and a panel here. We're just going to need to pop that back out of the way. And behind here, we're going to have 10mm attachments. We just need to back those off. And once you get them to a point, be careful. You don't want to drop those. Take them off the rest of the way by hand. Now up and behind this panel, just follow this line and you're gonna feel a clip and you're gonna feel an end that you can push in, push that in and pull. As you can see here, that's what you're gonna be looking for. That'll release. Now, we did have to fight with getting this tail light out. So what I ended up doing is once you're in the back of there, you're gonna have these little plastic pins. So what I did is I sprayed a little bit of some silicone on this, some silicone lubricant to try and break them loose. They do sit up in these pins, and we're gonna have one over here on the side. Just keep working at it and just be careful because you don't wanna break your lens at all. And once you get that undone, you're gonna have this rubber seal. Just pull this through and it'll come out for you. Just pop it through and then you can pull your whole harness through. Now we have a plastic clip and a 10 millimeter on each side. We're just gonna get those out of the way. Now we just want to work from our fender well and start pulling back carefully. And it'll just pop right out of there for you, working your way up and work our way across. Now we're going to have one plug-in we need to undo. Push in on the clip, pull up. Now we can remove our fascia. What we ended up doing, instead of going by the measurements, is we ended up getting our hitch kind of dry fit in place, and we got it tapped back all the way against here, and we marked our holes, and we did the same thing on the other side. Now where we marked our holes, we drilled out our 1/2-inch holes, and this is where our hardware is going to be going. So now we got to figure out a place to fish our wires. On this side, on the passenger side, we have a spot here in the back where it would actually go through here, or this rubber plug on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is go through this spot on the bottom, because I'm going to have to do the same thing on the other side, so it'll make it easier for you guys to follow along and do the same thing I do on both sides. Now we're going to take our fish wire and just put a small bend in it, and we're going to run it through our rearmost hole, and just want to feel for the fish wire to come through the frame to me. And when I get it to me, I'll just grab the coiled end and pull that through. Now it was a little tricky, so what I did is just used a magnet to poke up in there. Now for our hardware, we're going to take the washer that has the teeth on it, and we're going to put that on the bolt head, and we're going to run that onto our spacer block. Now we'll take our bolt and run that onto our fish wire. We want to run that up right about to there. Now we'll take our spacer block and our washer and push them up the bolt through our access hole, up and through into our frame. Now for now, we're just going to let this hang out. We are going to have to push these back in when we get our hitch pushed up into place. Now we'll repeat the same step we just did for our other 3 holes. Now with an extra set of hands, we'll get our hitch put in place. We just want to get our fish wires in our corresponding holes, run them through, inside out. We do have our bolts pushed in. Now we can lift our hitch up into place. Just want to pull your wires as you go. Now we just want to get our fish wires off of our bolts. These can be a little tricky to get through. You will have to bump your hitch around a little bit with a rubber mallet. That's what we used just to get it to go in place. You just want to get your fish wires off. Now we're going to go on with a large washer. Follow that with a lock washer. And a nut. Now we have all of our hardware in place. We're going to come back through and snug everything down. Now we'll come back through and torque down our hardware to the specifications listed in our instruction manual. If you don't have a torque wrench, you can pick one up here at eTrailer, or you can take a look at your local parts store and you can rent them there. Now we'll come back through and start getting some of our components back in place. I'm going to start with our box that we took out from underneath. Just get some of the hardware started in place for that. Now we can get our electric connection re-plugged in. Make sure we get a good snap. Now we'll start popping all of our hoses back in place. These are going to just pop right in place for you. Just make sure you hear a good audible click. And don't forget to get the rubber plugs put back in place where we went through our access holes. Now we'll get our exhaust put back in place. What I like to do is go ahead and re-spray those with soapy water, and it's going to make it a whole lot easier for us to get those popped back in place. Now with those back in place, we can remove our cam buckle strap. Now on our main fascia underneath, we have it marked out where we're going to make our cut. We did make our measurements and just kind of mark out where we're going to be making it. I'm going to use a rotary cutting tool and just cut it out, and we're going to test fit it and see how it looks. One thing to keep in mind when you're making cuts to your fascia, make sure you don't have a kick sensor or anything underneath or any kind of wires that you're going to cut through. So always look behind where you're going to be cutting and make sure there's nothing there that you're going to cut through that you don't want to. Now we have everything put back in place, and we did get all of our clips in, and we got all of our little holes cut that needed to get cut. We got the slots cut for where our safety chains go, and you can see where our hitch is going to plug in right here. Now I'll take our removable portion of our hitch and get it slid into place. It's going to line up with the hole in there, and you're going to have our bolt with our washer and our lock washer. Now we're just going to snug down our bolt with a 24mm ratcheting wrench, and you can come back through and torque it down to the specifications listed in your instruction manual. And that was a look at our EcoHitch for 2025 Hyundai Elantra. I'm Scott with eTrailer, and thanks for watching.